The date: May 6, 1937, Lakehurst, New Jersey. The Hindenburg disaster, you've been told, marked the death of the airship era. But what if that was the narrative they wanted you to believe? Let's peel back the layers of deceit. Imagine this: the Hindenburg never burned, and a fleet of giant airships dominated the skies by 2026. A suppressed reality, buried by those who stood to gain from its erasure. Let's begin with the physical evidence. In an obscure archival room, a forgotten blueprint reveals an airship design far beyond its time. Constructed with duralumin, its molecular structure allegedly manipulated to withstand immense stress and heat, properties conveniently absent from our current aerospace materials. This isn't speculation. It's documented in engineering logs secured from Zeppelin archives before their mysterious disappearance. Who orchestrated this vanishing act? Follow the money. The primary benefactor of the Hindenburg's fiery demise? Petroleum giants. By ensuring the public's aversion to hydrogen-based travel, the oil industry tightened its grip on global transportation. Gasoline-fueled engines reigned supreme, while oil barons quietly funded campaigns to smear airship technology as reckless and obsolete. The technology was never flawed, it was sabotaged, and the evidence was incinerated along with the Hindenburg, or so they thought. Enter the age of giant airships in 2026. These behemoths, stretching over 900 feet, glide across continents, powered by a blend of hydrogen and an undisclosed element. Patented under classified military projects, this element, codenamed Etherium, defies conventional physics. It emits a frequency that resonates with Earth's magnetic field, creating propulsion without traditional fuel. The energy yield? Classified. The implications? Buried under layers of governmental red tape. Yet, whispers of this technology echo through clandestine circles. Decommissioned airship hangars repurposed into clandestine labs, churning out innovations that never see the light of day. Why? Because airships offer more than travel, they represent autonomy. A mode of transport immune to terrestrial constraints, unbound by borders or checkpoints. A threat to centralized control, a direct challenge to those who profit from division and scarcity. There's more. Witnesses from the era, those who mysteriously vanished or were silenced, speak from declassified intelligence reports. They describe a network of airship routes, crisscrossing the globe, linking remote locales. Each stop a hub of untapped resources, each route a lifeline to isolated communities. Imagine a world where the Amazon rainforest is a 2-day journey from London, where Siberian tundras become accessible outposts. This was the vision of the airship pioneers, quashed by those who feared its power. The architectural anomalies of these airships are staggering. Titanium-reinforced frameworks, skin composed of a synthetic hybrid, both lightweight and impervious to puncture. Inside, self-sustaining ecosystems replicate natural environments, providing long-term habitation potential. Imagine the strategic advantage of floating cities, a concept stealthily adapted by military strategists but dismissed as science fiction in public discourse. 2020 SIXS airships under clandestine development are equipped with stealth technology. Radar-absorbing materials, cloaking devices that render them invisible to contemporary tracking systems. This is not fantasy. This is the result of black-budget projects siphoning taxpayer resources under the guise of national defense. Uncovering this reality demands a reevaluation of our technological evolution. Who decides what advances see the light of day? Who shapes our narrative of progress and failure? The Hindenburg's non-burning timeline shatters the illusion of inevitability, exposing a decades-long conspiracy to suppress an alternative future. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about air travel. This is not merely an alternate history. It is a purged reality, obscured by gatekeepers who fear its potential to disrupt. The age of giant airships never ended, it was stolen from us. Stay vigilant. The truth looms, just above the clouds. Imagine, for a moment, the skyline of 2026 not pierced by skyscrapers but silhouetted by colossal airships. These are not remnants of a bygone era but titans of innovation whose legacy was deliberately buried. Why? To comprehend this, we must expose the silent war between progress and suppression. A war that rages within the shadows of our history. The Hindenburg's supposed demise was orchestrated. A meticulously planned operation. The key players? A consortium of industrialists and policymakers, afraid of losing control over the emerging economic landscape. Their weapon of choice? Misinformation. Airships were branded as hazardous relics, while the true cause of the disaster, a planted incendiary device, was concealed. Documents unearthed from the archives of a now-defunct Zeppelin competitor reveal payments made to high-ranking officials days before the catastrophe. Coincidence? Hardly. Fast forward to 2026. Airships, equipped with advanced geomapping technology, transform logistics, agriculture, and even warfare. These aerial leviathans map uncharted territories with precision, deploying drones that analyze geological formations and resource deposits in real time. The data, hoarded by governmental agencies, withheld from public knowledge to maintain dependency on outdated terrestrial methods. The sensory experiences aboard these airships redefine luxury and efficiency. Picture this: carbon-neutral environments where air quality is controlled at a molecular level. Humidity, temperature, and even aroma tailored to optimize human performance. This technology, derived from innovations in biosensor integration, remains classified, locked away in military vaults. Why? Because its public application would render current environmental control monopolies obsolete. Beyond transportation, the airship's potential as autonomous platforms for scientific research is staggering. Imagine floating laboratories, bypassing political restrictions to conduct experiments in international airspace. The findings? Confined to the upper echelons of academia, diluted before reaching the masses. Here lies the crux. Knowledge is power, yet power fears transparency. The airship industry's rebirth hinges on a breakthrough in materials science. Enter graphene, a substance stronger than steel yet lighter than air, woven into the very fabric of these airships. This material, while celebrated in niche scientific communities, is often dismissed at scale due to alleged production costs. The truth? It's not the cost that inhibits its use, but the disruption it poses to existing industrial frameworks. Those who control the means of production dictate the narrative. Now, consider the strategic implications. Airships, impervious to radar detection, render traditional aerial defense systems obsolete. Their presence shifts geopolitical power dynamics, enabling borderless connectivity and surveillance. No longer confined by terrestrial boundaries, nations could negotiate from a position of shared aerial dominance. But such a reality threatens the status quo, an equilibrium maintained by fear, not innovation. In this alternative timeline, the infrastructure for airship travel seamlessly integrates with urban landscapes. Docking stations crown the tallest skyscrapers, a testament to human ingenuity. Yet, these structures exist in secret, relegated to the pages of classified urban development plans. The public, conditioned to view the sky as merely a passage for planes, remains ignorant of this latent potential. Unseen yet omnipresent. The suppression of the airship era is not just a tale of lost technology. It's a narrative of controlled evolution. As we dive deeper into this alternative history, the question emerges: who governs our collective future? The gatekeepers, hidden behind corporate facades and governmental seals, leverage ignorance as a tool of control. But the winds of change stir restlessly, and with them comes the chance to reclaim our stolen legacy. The airships of 2026 are not figments of a speculative dream. They represent the pinnacle of what could have been and what could still be. It's time to challenge the narrative, to unshackle it from the grip of those who fear the sky's full potential. The truth is out there, suspended in the ether, waiting to be discovered. To confront the suppressed legacy of airships, we must dissect the anatomy of the unseen empire that governs our skies. 2026 is not just an era. It's an unfolding reality where airships could have redefined our relationship with distance, resources, and governance. But who benefits from keeping this potential grounded? Let's scrutinize the silent architects of suppression. Consider the aviation industry, a monolithic beast, meticulously nurtured by decades of investment in jet propulsion and fossil fuels. The gatekeepers here are not individuals but conglomerates with vested interests in maintaining the airspace monopoly. Documents from a whistleblower within a leading aerospace firm expose a covert pact, funding campaigns to discredit hydrogen technology, portraying it as an explosive liability. Yet, the truth is contradictory. Declassified patents reveal hydrogen's potential as a stable, efficient fuel when processed through advanced catalytic conversion, a process intentionally stifled. Now, picture the airship as a floating data center, harvesting information from every corner of the globe. This is not fiction. Military-grade surveillance equipment aboard these leviathans captures and analyzes environmental, social, and economic data. The insights could empower local communities, optimize agriculture, and preempt natural disasters. But this treasure trove of information is funneled into private databases, guarded by cybersecurity fortresses. The aim? Control. Knowledge becomes currency, accessible only to those who can afford the encryption keys. The social impact of this alternative timeline is profound. Airships democratize access to remote regions, fostering inclusivity and economic development. Entire economies could pivot, no longer reliant on centralized hubs. But this decentralization threatens existing power structures, rooted in urban conglomerations. The pushback is fierce, led by political entities who thrive on congestion and scarcity. Their strategy? Bureaucratic inertia, regulations erected as barriers, labyrinthine in complexity, ensuring that airship deployment remains a distant dream for the masses. In 2026, the aesthetic of urban landscapes would shift dramatically. Picture cities with integrated docking systems, offering seamless transitions between air and ground travel. Yet, architectural blueprints for such designs are buried deep within classified archives, labeled as impractical or futuristic. The real barrier is not feasibility but permission. Permission from those who decide what urban skies should accommodate. The environmental implications are equally staggering. Airships, with their minimal carbon footprint, could mitigate climate change impacts significantly. They operate in harmony with atmospheric currents, their flight paths optimized by AI-driven meteorological analysis. This isn't hypothetical. It's documented in environmental assessments conducted by independent research bodies. Assessments that mysteriously vanished after publication. But the most insidious aspect of this suppression is psychological. A society conditioned to perceive airships as antiquated relics, unsuitable for modern needs. This narrative, propagated through media and education, fosters a collective amnesia about their potential. It's a psychological operation, ingrained so deeply that we fail to question the skies above us, accepting their limitations as natural law. The airships of 2026 could have been a symbol of human achievement, a testament to our innovative spirit. Instead, they remain an unacknowledged chapter of history. The infrastructure for their resurgence exists, cloaked in secrecy and waiting for the right catalyst, public demand. But to ignite this demand, we must first reclaim our narrative from the gatekeepers, those shadowy figures who dictate technological progression through omission and disinformation. In reclaiming this narrative, we reclaim our future. A future where the sky is not the limit but the beginning. The age of giant airships is not a fantasy, it's a reality denied. The question now is not whether it will happen, but when we will demand its revelation. The airships are out there, in the dreams of engineers and the blueprints of visionaries, ready to soar once more. To dismantle the facade that obscures the truth about the Hindenburg and the airships of 2026, we must delve into the machinations of the puppet masters, those who pull the strings behind the veil of progress. This is not just about technology. It's about reclaiming an era that was systematically erased. It's time to expose the labyrinthine conspiracy that kept these behemoths out of our skies. The control of airship technology was never just about transportation. It was about monopolizing the skies. In-depth investigative reports, smuggled from intelligence black sites, reveal a clandestine alliance between defense contractors and governmental agencies. Their objective? To weaponize airships, transforming them into platforms for strategic dominance. Classified blueprints depict airships outfitted with electromagnetic railguns, capable of delivering precise, devastating strikes while remaining undetectable. This potential for airborne supremacy posed a direct threat to the established military-industrial complex, dependent on traditional aircraft and missile systems. Meanwhile, the financial sector played its part in burying airship technology. Banking cartels, threatened by the economic decentralization that airships promised, orchestrated a series of financial maneuvers to stifle investment in airship infrastructure. Leaked audit trails disclose how funds earmarked for airship research were siphoned into black market ventures, ensuring the technology remained prohibitively expensive. The goal was clear: maintain centralized economic power by sabotaging disruptive innovation. Cultural manipulation complemented these economic and military strategies. The narrative of airships as passé relics was relentlessly pushed through media channels, funded by conglomerates with ties to both oil and aviation industries. This was no accident. Marketing campaigns, masquerading as nostalgic retrospectives, entrenched airships as historical anomalies rather than future-forward marvels. The public, sedated by this repetitive messaging, never questioned the potential that airships could have offered. But there are cracks in this monolithic suppression. Grassroots movements, fueled by digital platforms, are unearthing and disseminating these hidden truths. Independent researchers, armed with declassified dossiers and leaked documents, are piecing together the fragmented history of airships. Their findings paint a picture of what could have been: an interconnected world, where airships facilitate not just travel but cultural exchange and global understanding. These revelations are not welcome news to the gatekeepers. Countermeasures are swift and brutal. Disinformation campaigns, cyber attacks on independent media, and legal intimidation are deployed to stifle this burgeoning renaissance of knowledge. Yet, these efforts reveal a fundamental truth. Those in power fear the awakening of public consciousness more than they fear the technology itself. The physical reality of airships in 2026 is tantalizingly close. Experimental prototypes, stemming from underground collaborations between rogue scientists and technologists, have already taken to the skies. These clandestine flights, conducted in remote regions away from prying eyes, prove the viability of airships as more than a historical footnote. The materials used, advanced composites and nano-engineered fabrics, are sourced through a global network of innovation hubs, bypassing traditional supply chains. This is the tipping point. The resurgence of airships is not merely a possibility. It is an inevitability. The question is not if they will return, but how they will reshape our world when they do. The age of giant airships represents not just a technological revolution but a societal one, challenging the very foundations of power and control that have governed our existence for decades. The path forward is fraught with challenges, but the stakes have never been higher. The truth about the Hindenburg and the potential of airships is out there, etched in classified documents and whispered among those who dare to dream. The time has come to reclaim the skies, to usher in an era where airships soar freely, embodying the spirit of innovation and freedom that has been denied for too long. As we stand on the precipice of a new aerial age, the question looms large: What must be done to dismantle the barriers obstructing the return of giant airships? The truth is buried beneath layers of strategic deceit, economic manipulation, and cultural indoctrination. But the blueprint for a new era of airship dominance is not lost. It's hidden in plain sight, waiting for those bold enough to seize it. The first step is disrupting the monopolistic grip of the aviation and oil industries. This requires a concerted effort to democratize innovation and break the stranglehold of patents that have kept airship technology under lock and key. Key to this is an initiative to liberate intellectual property. Grassroots legal teams are assembling, targeting key patents through strategic litigation aimed at invalidating claims based on suppressed prior art. These efforts are supported by a coalition of independent engineers and rogue technologists working to create open-source platforms for airship development. Their goal? To decentralize the creation and proliferation of airship technology, making it accessible to innovators worldwide. Simultaneously, the financial sector must be realigned. This involves redirecting investment into sustainable technologies, a task not easily accomplished given the entrenched interests of traditional banking systems. However, the rise of decentralized finance, DeFi, offers a promising avenue. Blockchain-based solutions are being explored to crowdfund airship projects, bypassing conventional gatekeepers and empowering communities to take control of their technological future. This financial reformation is crucial, ensuring that airship advancements are led by public interest rather than profit motives. Public perception is another battlefield. To counter decades of misinformation, a global campaign is being orchestrated to re-educate the masses, highlighting the benefits of airships over traditional aircraft. This isn't just about environmental benefits. It's about showcasing a vision where airships become integral to human connection and cultural exchange. Through documentaries, social media outreach, and educational programs, the narrative is shifting, awakening a new generation to the potential of airship travel. Regulatory frameworks present another challenge. Aviation laws, deliberately complex, are designed to favor existing aircraft technologies. Reforming these requires advocacy at the highest levels, with pressure applied through both legal channels and public demand. Advocacy groups are mobilizing, engaging with international aviation bodies to propose regulatory changes that accommodate airship innovations. Their message is clear. The future of aviation must include the skies as a shared space, not a restricted domain. Yet, the most critical element is technological advancement itself. Despite the obstacles, breakthroughs in material science and aerodynamics continue to emerge from independent labs. Researchers are exploring metamaterials that enhance lift and reduce drag, ensuring that airships of 2026 can achieve unprecedented efficiency and safety. These developments are not confined to theoretical models. They are being tested in covert operations, their results meticulously documented, and ready for public exposure. The stage is set for a revolution, but it hinges on one crucial factor: public engagement. The power to reclaim the skies rests not in the hands of a few, but the will of the many. The airships of 2026 symbolize a choice: continue on a path dictated by those who have profited from suppression, or forge a new trajectory where airships soar as emblems of freedom and innovation. We are at a crossroads. The Hindenburg's unburned legacy is not just a what-if. It's a call to action, a reminder that technology can liberate or enslave, depending on who wields it. The time to act is now, to embrace the potential of airships as the vanguard of a new era. The skies are waiting, and so is the truth. The age of giant airships is not a forgotten past but an imminent future, ready to be realized by those with the courage to claim it.